In the far reaches of the galaxy, where stars burned like distant candles and planets orbited in silence, Captain Elias Vorne was a man on a mission. A former soldier turned freelance explorer, Elias had seen his share of cosmic wonders and horrors. But nothing could have prepared him for what he found on the desolate moon of Zorith 9. The moon was a barren wasteland, its surface cracked and dry, its atmosphere thin and unbreathable. It was the kind of place no one visited unless they had to. Elias had been hired by a mysterious client to retrieve a rare mineral said to be found only on Zorith 9. The pay was good, and Elias was never one to turn down a challenge. But as his ship, the Starblade, descended onto the moon's surface, he noticed something strange, a faint energy signature coming from deep within a nearby canyon. Curiosity got the better of him. Leaving his ship behind, Elias ventured into the canyon, his boots crunching against the rocky ground. The energy signature grew stronger as he approached a massive, ancient structure half buried in the moon's crust. It was a facility of some kind, its walls covered in strange, alien symbols. The entrance was sealed, but Elias managed to hack his way in using his portable plasma cutter. Inside, the air was stale and cold. The facility was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, all eerily silent. But as Elias delved deeper, he began to hear faint whispers, voices that seemed to echo in his mind rather than his ears. He followed the sound until he reached a large, circular chamber. What he saw there made his blood run cold. Dozens of alien beings were imprisoned in translucent energy cages, their bodies frail and their eyes hollow. They were unlike any species Elias had ever encountered, tall and slender, with shimmering, iridescent skin and elongated limbs. Their faces were hauntingly beautiful, with large almond-shaped eyes that seemed to hold the weight of centuries. They were slaves, their life force being drained by the facility's machinery to power some unknown purpose. Elias didn't hesitate. He had seen enough suffering in his life, and the sight of these beings trapped and exploited ignited a fire within him. Using his tools and weapons, he disabled the facility's power core, shattering the energy cages and freeing the aliens. As the cages dissolved, the beings collapsed to the ground, weak and disoriented. Elias knelt beside one of them, offering a hand. "You're safe now," he said, though he wasn't sure they could understand him. "I'll get you out of here." The alien looked up at him, its eyes filled with gratitude. It spoke in a soft, melodic voice, and though Elias couldn't understand the words, he felt their meaning resonate within him. The alien was thanking him. One by one, the others began to stir, their strength slowly returning. Elias helped them to their feet and led them out of the facility back to his ship. The Starblade wasn't designed to carry so many passengers, but Elias made it work, clearing out cargo holds and converting storage bays into makeshift living quarters. The aliens, though physically weak, were remarkably cooperative, their movements graceful and deliberate. As the Starblade lifted off from Zorith 9, Elias couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. He had done something good, something meaningful. But as the days passed and the aliens began to recover, he noticed something strange. They didn't seem interested in leaving. At first, Elias assumed they simply had nowhere to go. After all, they had been imprisoned for who knows how long, and their homeworld, if they even had one, was a mystery. But as he tried to communicate with them, using a rudimentary translation program he had cobbled together, he began to realize the truth. They had no intention of leaving him. "We are bound to you," one of the aliens, whom Elias had come to call Lyra, said through the translator. "You freed us. You are our savior. We will follow you." Elias was taken aback. "You don't have to do that," he said. "You're free now. You can go wherever you want. Lyra shook her head, her iridescent skin shimmering in the ship's artificial light. Our freedom is because of you. We owe you our lives. We will stay with you. Elias tried to argue, but it was no use. The aliens, there were 27 of them in total, had made up their minds. They saw him as their leader, their protector, and nothing he said could change that. At first, it was flattering, but as the weeks turned into months, Elias began to feel the weight of their devotion. The aliens were incredibly intelligent and resourceful. They quickly learned how to operate the Starblade systems, making improvements and repairs that Elias could never have managed on his own. They also had a deep connection to one another, communicating through a form of telepathy that Elias couldn't fully understand. They were peaceful and kind, but their unwavering loyalty was overwhelming. Elias tried to find a place for them, visiting planets and space stations in the hopes of finding a new home for his unexpected crew. But every time he suggested they stay behind, the aliens refused. "We are with you," they would say, as if it were the simplest truth in the universe. As time went on, Elias began to notice changes in himself. The aliens' presence seemed to have an effect on him, both physically and mentally. He felt stronger, more alert, as if their energy was somehow enhancing his own. He also began to experience flashes of their telepathy, hearing their thoughts and feelings in his mind. It was disorienting at first, but over time, he grew accustomed to it. One night, as the Starblade drifted through a quiet sector of space, Elias sat in the ship's observation deck, staring out at the stars. Lyra joined him, her presence calm and soothing. "You are troubled," she said, her voice soft. Elias sighed. I don't know what to do. I never asked for this. I never wanted to be responsible for so many lives." Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder, her touch warm and comforting. "You're not responsible for us. We choose to be with you. You gave us freedom, and in return, we give you our loyalty. It is not a burden, Elias. It is a gift." Elias looked at her, her eyes filled with sincerity. For the first time, he felt a sense of peace. Maybe he didn't need to have all the answers. Maybe he could just accept what was happening and let it unfold. As the months turned into years, Elias and his alien companions became a legend in the galaxy. They traveled from system to system, helping those in need and fighting against injustice. The aliens' unique abilities and unwavering loyalty made them a formidable team, and Elias found a sense of purpose he had never known before. In the end, Elias realized that he hadn't just freed the aliens. They had freed him. They had shown him that he was capable of more than he had ever imagined, that he could make a difference in the universe. And though he never fully understood why they had chosen to stay with him, he was grateful for their presence. As the Starblade soared through the stars, Elias knew that he was no longer alone. He had a family, a crew, a purpose, and together they would face whatever the galaxy threw at them.